The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Lucanary Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine on the Zone Coverage Podcast Network. ZoneCoverage.com. Subscribe. I'm your not-so-humble Andy Carlson at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine, and I have some equity. More equity than the NPR raccoon convincing everyone that he's more than just a trash panda.
Why did that become a big deal?
Well, because it was right across the street from NPR.
Yeah, right. I guess.
See, I don't know why they got to claim it, because it was climbing the UBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, UBS isn't the only tenant of the UBS building, right?
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of different firms.
Yeah, except NPR is just across the street. They only had first eyes on it, so they just claimed it.
Right, yeah, because they're a media organization, and the nickname comes from media.
Like Manifest Destiny.
He was just trying to take money from you.
That's like saying, like, why did the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette get to name the Immaculate Reception or whoever named it? Like, it's because they were the first media to it.
Yeah.
I think what he was trying to do is support our public radio by taking money from UBS, just shifting it right over to NPR.
See, I'm surprised that they haven't done a fundraising program for this. Like,
Save the raccoon.
programming is only possible from listeners like you. Bzz, bzz, bzz. NPR. Fresh air.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but it is nice to see that on social media we can all still get on the same side of something as opposed to fighting each other over.
I'm shocked.
Do you think there was someone cheering against the raccoon? Because I bet
yeah.
there was.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Or like people like, well, he probably has rabies. It's like, who cares?
There's definitely that person that was saying he probably has rabies.
Well,
actually, he very likely has
you ever
rabies.
come across
Like Ecolab's over there. They got it. They got this covered.
Or you ever come across people who are only contrarian for contrarians that makes them appear intelligent?
On Twitter, man, of course. I come across
That's all
those people.
Twitter is.
Yeah.
You know who's a real F-face? That Michael Jordan.
I mean, he was an asshole.
Yeah, he could have won 8 in a row.
That's true.
Well, he really could.
He could have.
But, I mean, he also had top...
You keep on coming at this with, like, true takes instead of, like, the contrarian for the sake of being contrarian.
Or Kobe better than Jordan.
There you go. See, that I think is a good example of one. Or Pippen better than Jordan. I like that one.
Wow.
I like that one a lot.
Wow.
I've seen it,
Steve
too.
Kerr. Steve Kerr, more rings.
That's it.
This is a typical offseason
Did
show.
Michael Jordan coach? No. No.
He did coach, actually. Not turn out very well.
poorly. Who had a better coaching tenure, Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan?
Oh.
They're both bad.
Jordan put himself in, though.
Yeah.
I think he gets bonus points just for that.
Or Magic Johnson had a late-night talk show for like a hot second.
That's right.
It was so bad.
Did you like that brief second it was Magic Johnson, Will Bond, like those guys all trying to compete on ESPN, Simmons and Jalen Rose?
No,
I feel like that was the one instance they maybe could have done it and it fell apart right away.
Yeah, I just feel like it's funny because like none of them are natural for TV.
No, right. I mean, Wilbon should be. He's
I think he ended up being pretty good at TV.
And Jalen Rose was, I think, just learning then. Just starting to get on the big platform.
But it was so awkward.
No, Jalen is great in audio for like podcast.
Yes.
Yes, I
when he got
completely
back
agree.
together with Simmons a couple weeks ago.
Simmons is great at interviewing. Jalen's fantastic, I think, in audio.
Yeah.
He always has these little theories. Like, I love that you meet people's representative and then you meet them. Or, like, those little Jalenisms that really play well on audio. Not great for TV. But, yeah.
Good time. This is the typical off-season show. Even though there is mandatory minicamp going on, this is basically off-season.
Sam is actually covering all that stuff, and he somehow has pulled a few interesting topics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of Laquan Treadwell, and these guys got suspended and all that, and then he has his positional battles if you want to look at the site.
The positional battles are really good, actually.
Yeah, I think, that's probably the most interesting thing going on right now.
Yeah.
But, he's done a good analysis on that.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, it is Arifas on NFL. It is Tom Schreier at Teacher R3 working the board. We are down 2 men. 2 good. 1.5 good men. So Luke is in the woods backpacking. Makes a see. I didn't think he was coming to the show after that Snapchat of him like in a backpack and full on like Grizzly Adams attire.
Oh, right. You even I don't have Snapchat, but you shared that with me, I think.
Yeah, or it was Snapchat, it was Instagram because he and me and Luke's wife are Instagram buddies. It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Been following along her flight attendant school training.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of tacos.
Really?
She digs the tacos.
I like
respect
tacos.
that. Yeah. And then Yinka is I don't know.
He's learning.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting in a class somewhere.
Well, he's at a class for 2 weeks, but let's just make up what the topic is.
That's a good question.
The class is Tinder in the modern age.
And Nick is the
201.
model.
201.
Not you. Not you.
How to direct like Ryan Coogler, maybe? You can be the next Black Panther.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Coogler was so good with Creed. I can't wait to see Creed 2.
You think there's going to be a Creed 2. I don't even know why I said that.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
the details are already out. He fights a Drago's kid.
It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm surprised. So they created this universe that there isn't even an allusion to, hey, I'm a boxer. I'm coming up in the game. And there is another great boxer who is the son of the guy who killed my father. But we shan't not mention him at all in the first movie.
Right. Are the only boxers in this universe like also sons and potentially daughters, if the movie franchise expands, of other famous boxers?
It should be, except the first...
Who's going to be Mr. T's son?
Just Mr. T.
Yeah, just Mr. T.
No,
again.
actually, no.
Yeah.
Ice Cube's son.
Oh, yeah.
What's the letter after T? S? I should know this.
Mr. U.
It's
Mr.
before
S.
T.
Oh, shoot. Not my initials.
Alphabet podcast comes soon. Zone coverage.
It's another letter. That's the joke.
It's gonna be. You know, my daughter can already do the alphabet better than you. She's like,
Highly likely.
yeah. But today, hour 1, talking a little bit of OTA action. Also, Arif and I and Tom, we're gonna go through. So this is going around Twitter. What's your favorite Viking of all time at positions?
Oh, yeah. You told me to do that. I didn't do that.
No, it's okay. You just glance at it and you know. Like
Yeah.
That's what I like. Who's your favorite Viking of all time? Snap, as opposed to thinking, researching, overthinking.
Like, who's the best at each position? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's my Hall of Fame thing. You say the name. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
I think that's a terrible way to do it.
That's a great way to do it.
That's awful.
How do you think they vote in that room? You know that they're just trying to get to the Canton Applebee's.
I think they vote that way. That's the problem with it. That's why Paul Hornung's in the Hall of Fame. Terrible candidate.
They should have kept him out because of his gambling. The integrity of the game.
I mean, Karras is never going to make the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
should have taken him out.
But Arif, you've been working this week. Mac Alexander, what is up?
I broke down Mackenzie Alexander to see if he could potentially become a long-term starter. Unfortunately, the piece doesn't have like a conclusion. It just says essentially he's got this flaw that prevents him from being very reliable. He seems to make a lot of mistakes in zone coverage in particular.
Yep.
Which I guess makes him a bad fit for the company.
That's why we have editors.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
he's fine.
I was going to say, it sounds like all of us.
But yeah, he's got awareness issues. He's got assignment issues, and that's not to say he's perfect in man coverage. He's has deep speed problems. He gets beaten on double moves every so often, but primarily he's got an issue in zone coverage where he doesn't always pick up his assignment on time or doesn't know what his assignment is. And if he can resolve that, I think he's technically a sound enough player and he's physically capable, especially on underneath routes, for him to be a really good asset in the nickel. Maybe never like the top nickel cornerback in the league like a Chris Harris or Leon Hull, but certainly like an above average starter. And if he can fix that, I think he's got a pretty high ceiling in that regard. And given that, the pre-draft scouting reports are like, he picks up defenses quickly. He's smart. Everyone knows he's a super hard worker. That became kind of his thing. I think we should view it with more optimism than pessimism, but I can see why one would get frustrated at mental errors as opposed to physical errors.
All encompassing, looking at what he's done, also what he could do. You like him better than Trey Waynes?
I think based off of last year, I think Trey Waynes played better than him last year.
Yep.
I think his ceiling is higher. Of course, I've never had a super high opinion of Trey Waynes.
But you run so fast in a straight line. He has bad hips.
And so that's the issue. It's like, so as much as Trey Waynes is like a faster corner, I think the quickness advantage, which I don't think McKenzie actually tested that well for a small corner in the short shuttle in the 3-cone, but on field he definitely has a quickness advantage. I think that quickness advantage more than makes up for that difference, and I think that gives you kind of more latitude. Zimmer's kind of always had this kind of cheat code with cornerbacks where he doesn't really care about how quick they are because the way he coaches their technique kind of resolves a lot of those issues. So there's a lot of shuffle technique, especially with Mackenzie Alexander. We saw a lot of it with Trey Waynes instead of backpedal.
Yep.
And shuffle technique, it's more difficult in some respects and easier in some respects, but if you can anticipate where the receiver is going, you don't have to move as far to get to your landmark. So that helps. He forces, and it's so counterintuitive, he forces cornerbacks to spin the opposite direction in order to change directions, which makes their spin quicker and allows them to get out of the break. But it's so non-intuitive. If you tell someone to backpedal and then turn right, they'll backpedal and turn right because duh.
Yeah.
But he'll have his cornerbacks a lot of time. They'll backpedal, and then he had to coach. I remember he had to coach Waynes to do this and Rhodes to do this. He has to make them turn left and then turn 270 degrees or turn right, and that ends up actually creating a slower, I guess, turn, but it gets you to your spot quicker.
Yeah.
So
it does take a little while. I mean, we've seen this even with veterans for them to break bad habits and then completely buy into the Zimmer, Jerry Gray technique.
Yeah, and we saw that with Waynes. Obviously,
saw it with Rhodes too.
Yeah, we saw it with Rhodes. In the piece, I go into, hey, maybe it's just that cornerbacks take a while, and that's not always true. I mean, Jalen Ramsey showed up right away. Marshawn Lattimore showed up right away.
Zimmer doesn't play rookies.
Tre'Davious White played right. Yeah, I don't know about that. Showed up right away. But we have seen a fair number of corners take a while. Josh Norman took 2 years. Patrick Peterson, despite how people liked his rookie season, is more because of his punt returning than his actual coverage skills. It took him 2 years to be a good cover corner, and then of course you've got Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes, and there's a couple of others that I kind of list, and I listed all of the corners that I thought were pretty high-level corners, people like Richard Sherman. I also went back to Darrelle Revis, listed all those corners, and there's like a break. They're either good right away, or they're just garbage right away. And there's not really much even in between. If you're like an average corner right away, it seems like that's what you're going to be.
Who can you think of who was just hot, flaming trash, like the first year, maybe 2, and then turned out to be one of the better corners?
Well, Norman's a pretty good example.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was as bad as, especially if you go by PFF grades, I don't think anyone's been as bad as Alexander, which makes him kind of a unique case.
Yeah.
But Norman was just not good his rookie year. And then Trey Waynes was just so awful that he wasn't even on the field. Right, his preseason was so terrible. But again, he doesn't meet the quality, the qualifier.
Yeah.
Really top tier corner. Immediately afterwards,
Hater. Why do you hate Trey Waynes?
Yeah, whatever. That's just who I am. It's my brand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See, this is just being contrarian for contrarian's sake. Our part.
AJ Bouye is a good example too.
Oh, yeah.
Of a guy whose first 2 years were kind of whatever.
Where did he go to college?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
UCF? I want to say UCF. That's probably wrong. That's probably
National
way wrong.
champion, UCF.
It is UCF. Look at me go.
Damn, Mike Hughes. Oh, he probably caught a lot of balls and Bortles in practice. Probably so. Oh, now he's doing the same at Jacksonville.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
There we go. So we put out the caption contest of the photo of just me and Arif, and a lot of people are just assuming the caption contest was, what did Arif and I do with Luke and Yinka? And a lot of people just assumed that we ate them.
Yeah.
Giving our culinary proclivities.
Not before Blue Door.
I like the idea that you've interpreted this as a compliment to our ability to cook and or eat humans instead of any other potential way to take that.
No, I mean, it's tough to make humans palatable.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Yeah.
The other white meat.
Yeah.
Well, at least with Luke.
Yeah, except I think Yinka would be too lean. He's a pretty lean guy. Actually, no, Luke's pretty lean too.
You probably slow cook both of them.
Yeah, over the Traeger. Oh, I recommend.
Yeah, you keep talking about this Traeger.
Yeah, when you get a house again, Reef, you should get a Traeger. It's as easy as using a microwave. I actually feel bad.
Are you cheating now?
Yeah, it does feel like cheating because so we made a brisket, set the temp, 225, let it sit for 9 hours, went to bed.
Look at that.
Got up, perfect. And this is like I didn't do anything.
This is how Andy burns his house down.
Yeah. Speaking of burning the house down, so Twitter caught a little flame. A little Matthew Collar, friend of the program, tweeted a little video. Brian O'Neill catching passes. Oh my God, it's happening, Arif.
It's happening.
Yeah. I asked you. So we know that he used to be a former tight end. We've seen him run reverses at Pitt. Over under.
I think he's the first Heisman Trophy winner to get drafted.
Is he?
I think so.
We need a comprehensive list. We'll go over that in a sec. But over under 4.5 opportunities, so targets plus carries this season for Brian O'Neill.
Did you say 4.5?
Yeah.
I'll go under.
Yeah, I think it would be at least 2. But I feel like if it's more than that, then something has gone aghast that we're going to have to break up the gadgety offense to move the ball.
Uh-oh.
It's like 2 years ago. It's like, oh, the Wildcat. Got him.
That worked out pretty well for a while. Well, not with the Vikings.
Well, it worked out up to the point where... Actually, no, that was... Oh, yeah, Dalvin got hurt on a Wildcat snap, didn't he?
Did he?
I think that was it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, but who knows about getting too fancy. But also, Danny Isadora season. What is up? Getting some runs with the ones at left guard spot, even though... so he started one game last year against the Browns at that left guard spot, even though he played 4 years at right guard at the U. Don't switch him. Don't confuse him. It's going to be Brandon Fusco all over again.
Don't confuse him, man. How's he going to know what to do with his hands?
Yeah. So right now, the starting offensive line left to right, it's the big talking point for everyone. It's Reef, it's Compton / Isadora splitting 1 reps. It's Nick Easton at his center spot, which kind of is more of his natural spot, but argument for another day. Then Remmers at right guard, Rashad Hill at right tackle. I don't know. Once Elfline comes back, it'll be a question of Easton will likely go back to left guard, and then you keep Remmers at right guard or right tackle. Mm-hmm. So it's basically Rashad Hill versus Tom Compton, Isadora, maybe Colby Gossett. That's about it. Who you got?
Tom Compton, Isadora, Colby Gossett. I don't think it'll be Colby Gossett. I mean, I think he's got like kind of the best avenue.
Yep.
You know, I think it's going to be Rashad Hill on the outside and Remmers on the inside.
Yeah. I think that's what they'll start with, but we'll see what happens.
You don't think they'll finish that way?
I injuries, performance-wise, I actually think they'll be quicker to change things up if it's strictly performance this year as opposed to last year when they got a little stubborn, except for Jeremiah Searles. They're quick to change that up. Yeah, that's probably why he's gone. Where did he end up? Carolina?
Searles? I think so.
No.
Yeah, with Khalil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because him and Norv had such great chemistry. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yep,
Carolina.
Hey, there you go. Terrence Newman working on some safety. I wonder if Zimmer lied about it.
Well, yeah, we can't have Venzel on the case anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, is this just off-season, working out kinks, trying things?
He changed his number, man.
Yeah.
34. Sounds like a safety to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's Sadeo's number.
Isn't that the picture the Vikings tweeted out, though? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's got the picture of him wearing 34.
No. Oh, is this...
He didn't actually change his number, I don't think.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is this like when Deion wore 37 of his age? But no, that's not even his age. That's rough. But I don't know, I feel like the cornerback room, especially Holton Hill in the mix now with Hughes and Mack and Waynes, if Newman wants to stick around, maybe having some safety versatility in the back pocket could help.
I think so. I mean, the Vikings have never been very deep at safety. They've only ever carried, I think, 4 safeties into the season. The past couple of years, it's been a while since they've carried 5. Yeah. Or have recently. It was like an anomaly. And they don't bring a ton of safeties into camp. They usually bring 6 or 7. Compared to cornerbacks, they bring in 20.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P. Horace Richardson.
Right. So I think it makes sense for them to to keep trying Newman out at doing safety stuff, especially while, because Sendejo didn't practice. Probably why he took the number 34 jersey. Just because they're just never all that deep there. If, one player goes down, you're back to Anthony Harris, and if Anthony Harris goes down, you're kind of screwed.
But Anthony Harris played so good against the Rams.
And he did.
Yeah, that was a big stop.
Yeah, it was nice. But yeah, I mean, you can't just be like one or two players deep, I think, at a position, even though that position gets a lot less contact than most positions.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense.
Do you think it's likely that the Vikings carry 11 DBs? So 5 corners, we'll throw Newman in there, count as 6 is sort of the hybrid. Sherrill's 7, and then the 4 safeties.
5 corners plus Sherrill's?
Plus Sherrill's and Newman.
Oh. It's a really crowded room. I could see that, but I think they're probably going to be closer to 10. Yeah. I just don't know who you get rid of, right? Because you've got Rhodes and Waynes and Alexander, I guess. Although I guess on K-Fan didn't Lieber said something about how he might get cut this season. I don't buy it.
Lieber says a lot of things.
So Alexander, and then you've got Hughes, right? So that's 4. And then you keep hearing about Holton Hill running with the 2s, and he's supposed to be a starting quality corner. That's 5 right there. You got to add Sherrill's and Newman somewhere in there, so they could see it. But I don't know.
I don't see
weird.
them cutting bait with Harris or Curse because they're okay backups. Also,
I could see them. I could see them cutting Curse.
Yeah. But I mean, then is Newman going to play special teams?
Yeah,
you can toss Holton Hill in there.
Newman won't.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Newman.
Yeah, Punk Hunter Terrence Newman. I mean, he'd do it. I'm sure he'd be fine, but still be funny.
That'd be weird.
Can you imagine looking back on his career and he's like, really, my one regret? Special teams at 40.
Yeah, 40.
All right. So
I could see his number being called for special teams and him just not getting up.
Yeah.
And
now play with 10. You're good.
Yeah, and Prefer just looking at him being like, whatever, who's next?
Yeah, well, the night before, they do the special teams does, everyone sit down. It's like, if you're on this unit, stand up, blah, blah, blah. And Newman will just be, chilling in the Rascals. You know what's up. Yeah. All right, so if they did carry 10, who's the odd man out?
Well, I did mention Curse. I mean, maybe Marcus, man. I don't want to predict the cockroach going. It feels like a pathway to doom, but yeah,
Mike Hughes.
Yeah, Mike Hughes could take the kick return. I'm kind of interested with what's going to happen with kick returns, especially I think was it pre? No, it was Prefer said you could have 2 kick returners back there now because of the new rules. Because you only have 3 back there, and you've got a bunch of people. I think within 15 or 10 yards of the thing, and it'll probably create more dynamic returns, but create fewer collisions.
Laterals.
Probably don't.
I did it in blitz.
But yeah, I mean, you could potentially
every
have 2
return
kick
should be
returners
Frank
back
Wycheck.
I'm kind of excited to see. This might revive the kick return without causing an increase in injuries, which would be fantastic.
Yeah. Also, the opposite of fantastic. Little DNP did not participate. Everson Griffin has been out for a while, but veteran maintenance sort of deal. Yeah. Sendejo, Pat Elflein, as we knew, and then also Stacey Coley, who tweaked himself early on in OTAs and has not been back.
Rip.
Also, since Coley's been out, opening things up for apparently Treadwell's looked awesome.
Treadwell's looked good. Yeah. Zylstra has looked good,
yep.
I guess. You always have to try because didn't Treadwell look good last year too?
Yeah, he always looks good when you.
Stephen Burton's looked great in OTAs.
Yeah, he always look good when corners can't press. The guy can't get separation. Yeah, shock.
Yeah, but if he's playing where he's supposed to play, that's kind of half the battle with him. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that this is all steam. I think he's probably genuinely looking good, and I think that's genuinely a good sign. But I'm also not going to attach myself too hard to this either.
Plus, there's no Exum around to pull a hammy on him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Who's Treadwell going to get in a fight with this year?
Let's see. Jack Tocho. Tocho doesn't seem like the fighter. Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know that Tocho would fight him. Hughes might fight him.
Yeah.
That would be a good fight.
Yeah, Treadwell's got the reach, although Hughes has the Debo look.
Right.
He does.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
If you told me that he was Debo's kid, All right.
Right. Out of all the undersized defensive backs, who do you think? So obviously J-Ron doesn't count. Who do you think would be best in a fight? I think it would be Mac.
Yeah, Mac's got that scrappy, South Florida muck attitude going on for him. Like, I could see him be holding his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than because I don't see it being Cheryl's. It could be Mike. I guess I don't know enough about him.
He might be too high to fight.
He's not undersized. He can't count. He's like 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 6'1", 6'2".
I don't know anything about Horst Richardson.
6'3". SMU guy. Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of thin.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Matt got it all day. Yeah. And then also, people are piling. It's like, oh, this could be the year. Anthony Barr finally gets some edge snaps, put his hands in the dirt as a DN.
Are people saying that?
No, it's a common trope. It's like getting rid of the fullback, cutting Cheryl's, moving Remmers to guard.
It's the old the Vikings are switching to a 3-4.
Yeah.
I remember that. Talked about that for like 5 straight years.
Over under 8.5 snaps where Anthony Barr lines up at DN this year. So 1 every 2 games, average.
I mean, it's been decreasing since his rookie year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, under, I guess.
That's rough. I feel like we'll look back and like Anthony Barr will be a great off-ball outside linebacker, but if they just focus him on edge, he could have been pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was originally. A lot of people thought he was just going to be an edge.
Yeah.
He would have stayed at the edge with maybe another team or even with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Gained like maybe 10 pounds.
Yep.
Go from 255 to 265. Yeah.
Do you think that could be what Barr and his agent are sort of eyeing? It's like, the Vikings have been great. Love Zimmer here, but, I mean, let's go get paid as an edge.
I would
make me a
consider it
4-3
if I was. I would consider it if I was his agent, but I'd probably not go in that direction.
Yep.
I think it would be difficult to fully transition this late in the career back to edge. So, like, what does that look like? It looks like probably a 1-year deal with a team that needs to have an edge player, play pretty quickly, and has a good defensive line coach. And I don't know that those teams exist right now. I think all the good defensive line coaches are now embarrassed for riches along the defensive line. You can take a look at the Eagles.
Yep. Jaguars.
Yeah. Where does Carl Dunbar coach? He's not still with the Jets. Is he?
I feel like he went to Alabama.
He's with the Steelers.
Oh, there you go. Close enough.
Yeah, maybe he could play edge with the Steelers, right? Because
I mean, they got Watt and Bud Dupree.
Dupree sucks.
Yeah.
I think they'll replace Dupree with
Anthony
Barr.
Chiquillo.
Yeah.
Or Chiquillo.
So, maybe, but I think it's pretty unlikely that you'll find a good defensive line coach on a team that needs an edge player.
Yeah. Also, Steele Barr. I mean, come on.
That's good. I like that.
Saddle him up with the old 55 Chandler Joey Porter style. Let's go, baby. All right, let's trade Barr to Pittsburgh.
We get a 1, right?
I don't know. We want Villanueva.
It's a 1-year contract. Yeah, let's get the Army guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. What about if Everson falls off? Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. Still got Hunter. You signed him long term, and Barr's just chilling. And say Weatherly doesn't work out. Arunia, Odenabo can't really find an edge. B-Rob's long gone fishing, and
Bauer's dead.
Yeah. What if then?
Yeah, what if these 5 things? Then I guess they would probably try.
Then we're in. And then we sign Michael Kendricks. All right.
Trade him back from Cleveland.
Yeah. Last little piece of OTAs. Oh, actually, 2 more pieces. So the kicking competition. So Daniel Carlson missed 2 on Tuesday, and then everyone's freaking out. But
he's made the rest of them, right? He's made all of the kicks except for those, right?
I still legit sort of feel bad for Kai. He signed the 1-year non-guaranteed contract. He's sort of getting toyed with. I think this will carry on through camp. And just to give the Carlson kid, where you traded up, drafted a kicker in the 5th round, just to let him, quote unquote, win the competition. This is not a competition.
If you're Kai Forbath, though, couldn't he end up in the league still? There's got to be someone with a bad kicker
No, if I'm Forbath, I want to be somewhere else where I have a legit shot of winning. Barring Carlson just completely getting the yips and having a leg fall off.
If I'm Forbath's agent, I've already tampered with all 31 other teams.
For sure. How much does it matter working with a long snapper and the holder and stuff? Do you think that
A little bit.
Okay.
I think it's been oversold, and I remember that being one of the excuses people had for Blair.
Yeah.
It's a little bit important, but I mean, the difference between a league average or a league all-right kicker and a kicker that is not good enough for the league is like enormous. I mean, the Chargers saw that, unfortunately, with Younghoe
R.I.P.
Kim?
This is why Asians don't play football.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Timmy Chan got a wrong deal.
I was really hoping that Chargers kicker was going to turn out, and he lost them 3 consecutive games that they should have won.
He was
people
so
thought
bad.
he was Young Ho, right? That's
Yeah.
why people,
Yeah. But yeah, and if they had had a league average kicker, they probably would have won those games, made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Young White Koo.
That's it.
Yeah. But of course they have to do the Chargers thing where they start out 1-5 and then make a playoff run at the tail end.
1-5 and lead the league in either offense or defense. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Now, who had this great tweet? We've talked about this before, where it was Phillip Rivers is always perpetually down 1 score with the ball with a minute left.
It was either Justice or Chuck, or they retweeted it. But it's
the story of his career.
It's his and there's a stat that backs it up too.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I would take him over Eli and Roethlisberger in that 2004 draft. JP Lossman maybe, but he's just been snake bit his entire career, writhing in obscurity in San Diego. Who are the AFC Vikings? They really are.
They're
looking
Los
for the
Angeles,
tweet.
sir.
Yeah. While it reflux, let me tell you about myburgerusa.com, because burgers right here in the Twin Cities, always phenomenal. New place right around the corner. Well, not new. They've been added since 2004. Made to order burgers, hand pressed to perfection. Delicious. They also got salads. They got gluten-free buns. They got malts, sweet potato fries, and beer, because you need beer. Yeah. They got 5 Twin Cities locations over in Richfield, over in Calhoun, Stadium Village, right dead center, Skyway, Minneapolis, and also Mac Groveland. If you're on the St. Paul side, hit them up. Order online, MyBurger USA. Plus, become a Zone Coverage subscriber and get a gift card for a free burger at myburgerusa.com. Delicious, just like us, just like Luke and Yanka since we ate them. Hit them up.
I can't believe you guys did that.
It's the Derek Clausen tweet. Phillip Rivers lives in a perpetual state of down a score with less than 2 minutes left. And then a Football Outsiders guy, Vincent Verhey, looked it up and was like, oh my God, that's true. He leads the league in most passes down 1 score the final 2 minutes between 2006 and 2017. 214 attempts. The next is Joe Flacco at 160. The gap is enormous.
Their defense has been notoriously bad, right? Throughout most of that?
Not always. That's the thing, is that from a unit, very often they've actually had very good defenses, but when they've had good defenses, they've had just a catastrophic run of luck on special teams.
Oh, is that right?
Or their defense starts to get good and then Keenan Allen gets injured.
Yep.
Along with the entire offensive line, right?
Or they go 14-2 and lose in the divisional round.
Right, or they have Marty Schottenheimer as their head coach.
Yeah, Marty Ball.
Yeah.
Although that was great for LaDainian Tomlinson fantasy owners back in the day.
Yeah, they should have kept Marty, honestly. You got a raw
because they went to Norv.
Why has no one used that helmet? I love LaDainian Tomlinson had 17 bars. Do you remember that across his helmet?
Well, they've outlawed the helmet now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because defensive ends started getting all the bars on the face mask.
Yeah.
Because I remember Justin Tuck had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cobra Commander.
He looked like
face
Kylo
mask.
Ren or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's dumb. I feel like they should relax things like tinted visors. Those were awesome.
I definitely want them to relax the tinted visor.
Can you imagine what Odell would do? It'd be where would we go, neon green or something?
Yeah, I mean, those are great. Plus, it looks cool. And when you're appealing to young kids like stupid stuff. We love visors. We love gloves.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, and in training camp, Justin Tuck got to wear the visor with his face mask.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
What if you just go X-Wing fighter and you just have an orange face mask with no bars?
It should go straight Cobra Commander, where they just get basically a hockey mask.
You're describing the Legends Football League face mask, which is basically a hockey mask.
Yeah.
We saw that on The Bachelorette.
Yeah. which we have a Bachelorette podcast. People should know that.
Also, I didn't know this. Justin Tuck had added 6 bars.
That's too much.
That looks like a Photoshop.
That's a bit too much. Yeah.
No, that looks like a Man in the Iron Mask, Leo DiCaprio sort of style.
Do you remember?
That's ridiculous.
I think Gary Anderson was he the last guy to do the 1 bar?
He might have been the last guy.
Yeah.
I love that Joe Theismann still had the 1 bar and his face didn't get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Darnell Dockett's old one was really great.
Oh my God! Yeah, these guys.
That's great.
I mean, straight up. Yeah.
Well, in fairness, they should petition the league, be like, I need this for safety because I don't want to get.
How did that?
I don't want Richie Incognito to finger gouge me in the eye.
Wouldn't that hurt your vision, or does that not matter in that position? Like, aren't you seeing too many bars?
Wait, they're not over your eyes.
I suppose, but aren't you looking through them?
Why would you be looking down?
Fumble. You got. I don't know.
That's a pretty rare event.
Well, I mean,
Can you imagine he's like yanking the? Oh,
I tell you, it's like wearing a pair of glasses. Like, how often do you look through the bottom of the glass?
I suppose.
Yeah. So there you go. Face Mask Podcast comes in.
Numerology. We got face masks.
All right. So playing high school football, we had like a limited selection of face masks. So I actually order from East Bay, like the straight up cornerback mask.
What?
Yeah. So you know, like the mask up front, and then you had the bar. You know, put your mouthpiece in, and then like the 2 sides.
Yeah.
Custom. The Patrick Peterson face mask.
Because they had a lot without the second bar, right?
Yeah.
And then they had the weird one where it was like the thing that came down right in front of your face and only 2 bars.
Yeah.
Like 2 horizontal, 1 vertical.
Yeah. I actually could do a whole podcast on face masks, which is so stupid.
I was kind of a fan of the Favre one, which became, 2 bars, horizontal.
And also just like the cloth chin strap.
Yeah.
And only 1 buckle.
Yeah.
1 buckle, and then whenever he'd take his helmet off, he'd buckle it on the back on the left.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
That's cool. Look, I'm gonna throw a slant to Greg Jennings.
Did you ever?
3rd and 8, we'll get 9.
Did you ever have someone who wanted to do 1 buckle, so they literally just did the top ones but not the bottom?
No, and also like,
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It was introduced too, like when they had the ones up top. The buttons up top, so it comes down, and then you strap it on the back.
Yeah,
like it's cool because Randy Moss kids are so stupid. So Randy Moss hung the gloves off the front of his face mask, and then of course we did that too.
Yeah,
he wears jersey backwards, and then we wear the Kevin Garnett jersey.
We're gonna find out this was so bad for you that you had to like dip the little mouth guard into the boiling water and then bite into it. Not only was it warm, but probably leaking toxins into your brain.
Yeah.
Not great.
No, don't worry. That 79-cent mouth guard from Walgreens is BPA free.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Main bulk in like Thailand. Yeah, but we're good. Tom, why don't you fire up some music, and we're going to talk a little bit more nostalgia. So we're going to run through favorite all-time Vikings at each position. We got quarter. That's you're good. I'm not gonna lie. Like my list is mainly generational biased, but I feel like that's most everyone. So like, it really bugs me. Like young kids be like, "Yeah, my first quarterback was Tavares Jackson. It was tough. Those are lean years." It's like, buddy, you don't even know the half of it. And then some old cadre would be like, "I remembered Archie Mann in 1984.
Should have gone to the Pro Bowl. Only had -2 total passing yards.
I wonder if Olivia and the boys lived up here in Minnesota with Archie, or they just stayed in New Orleans because they're like, "This is gonna be 1 year. You're just gonna hammer a check. We're done."
Yeah, I think they probably just stayed in New Orleans.
I mean, because the kids were probably school age. 84. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, going to whatever private school Archie had set them up for.
Yeah.
Which is why they didn't want it enough. It's because they grew up rich. And that's why they only got 4 rings between the 2 of them.
Well, just like. Oh, yeah. I forgot Peyton got that last one.
Yeah, you got the 2nd ring.
Well, it's like LeBron, Steph Curry. Like LeBron, single mom, coming from poverty, rising up. Steph Curry, son of a multi-million-dollar professional athlete. Both got the same spot.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're both
Kobe,
tough.
better than both of them. Rich, right?
Yeah.
Richard speaks Italian.
Yeah,
honestly.
right?
Yeah. Also, his dad was Jelly Bean.
Yeah, Kobe Bean Bryant.
All right, so we'll start off at the signal caller quarterback position. Now, I've gone back and forth.
So you have QB and backup QB,
Yeah.
which I love. So I wanted to say Joe Webb for both of them.
Yeah, so quarterback, I almost wanted to go Favre, but that would be disingenuous. I mean, Dante for me, growing up, just him just chucking it as far as possible, Randy Moss coming down with it. That was great back in the day. So I got Dante.
I gotta go with Teddy.
Teddy?
I
love that pick.
Teddy.
I love
man.
that pick.
Teddy's not here, you stupid Teddy Fowl. Move on.
He's not here anymore. Pick someone who's still here, like Favre.
I mean, he could be.
It was great quarterback Wade Wilson, not Deadpool.
I'm gonna go Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
However, I had
Ooh.
a Jeff George jersey, which I don't know why, but I didn't have that.
Was your dad punishing you that week?
Probably
Like Tom
was.
grounded. Here's a Jeff George jersey.
Yeah, I think I probably wanted something different.
There's also
but
Jeff George Falcons jersey, which
Yeah.
actually would have been pretty.
That
damn
would have
sweet.
been fun.
Favre Falcons needs to happen.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who's got
By
a
the way,
Favre Falcons
Favre
jersey.
Falcons had the cornerback. Matt,
Yeah, he did.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because he was too hammered. He's like, this is probably my helmet.
Yeah.
Then Ray Buchanan's like, hey, where are you going with that? Actually, I think Brian Johnson, the baseball player, was on that team.
All right.
Yeah, played for the Braves and the Cardinals.
Because
Because he played for the Falcons for a hot second.
and I know Deion Sanders when he played Falcons Braves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would have been the World Series MVP that won against the Yankees if they would have pulled it out, which is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Super Bowl champion, World Series MVP. I don't think that parlay will ever win again.
Probably not.
Yeah. Favorite backup quarterback of all time, Joe Webb.
Gotta be
Come on.
Joe Webb.
I'm going to go John David Booty just because I love that name.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but
JDB.
Also, who was the something Bethel had number 4 right
McLeod
after
Bethel
Favre?
Thompson,
Yeah.
Cloud John Baltzar, Bethel Thompson.
I like
a
that
great
power
name.
move.
Yeah. Running back, favorite running back of all time. I gotta go Adrian.
I kind of have to go Adrian too. I mean, he says stupid stuff all
Yeah.
the time. He beat a kid, and I feel like Arif, you shouldn't make him your favorite running
Yep.
back after that.
The
I mean, he was just insanely fun to watch.
He made $100 million in his career and he defaulted on a $250,000 loan
Yep.
recently.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It happened like a year ago.
Yeah.
I guess that's not insanely surprising.
Like,
When you plan to play for 40 years.
I want the loan to have been for his camel party.
The camel party could not have been good for his finances, but
Also, how do you walk into the bank and pitch that?
how about this? I think I'd go Peterson too, but Robert Smith has to be in the conversation, right?
Bobby. Yeah.
You have to like him kind of post-career. Like he's still
His
on
post-career
TV.
is great.
Yeah. And he was really part of fun teams. That still memorable,
Yep.
even though he wasn't the best player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, like Adrian, like strictly on field and just like the highs, like him,
Yeah.
like him
The way,
busting up
the
the
way he
Bears.
played, the fact that he
Running over William Gay,
Yeah.
throwing that Browns player halfway through the stadium.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Adrian run?
Actually, probably that Browns one.
Yeah,
Or the juke where he like juked him 5 different times, and then you remember that the linebacker literally just like he looked like a basketball player that
I've been
got his
crossed
ankles
over.
cracked. Yeah.
There's also one, I think it was against the Cardinals. It was during the 2,000-yard season where he looks like he's bottled up, and then the next time you see him, he's 5 yards away from the pile, like teleported.
Yeah.
That one was pretty great.
I might go that first Saints carry Adrian had for 9 yards. We're just like, and then I was like, we got 18 total for the game.
Your favorite Adrian Peterson run is when he was with the Saints.
When he got 9 yards.
Yeah, I was worried too. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
He gutted that one out. Also, like, I forget who they're playing. It might have been the Niners or Washington, but the one in Arizona where he had like 150 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was like,
I got a bunch of tweets after that. They were like, see, Adrian's back.
but if
You're
you
wrong.
watch the game, like it was more of an indictment of that on that defense.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the rest of his career, it's pretty clear that
Yeah.
it was an indictment of that
Yeah.
defense. But I got a lot of people that are like, yeah, see, Adrian still has it.
Yeah. But
Never did it
I
again.
will say that William Gay catch was probably my favorite Adrian play. Just dump trucked it. They kept going, and I love that it was a reception.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the most iconic highlights he has, and it's a reception.
Favorite fullback of all time?
I actually like Jerome.
Jerome Felton.
Was
Yeah.
Kleinstosser a fullback or tight end?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, if I count him as a fullback, then
Okay.
Kleinstosser.
I was
Yeah.
going to Kleinstosser.
I have a Jim Kleinsasser number 85 jersy.
Oh,
'Cause,
nice.
Like the first year or two, he was a tight end. They're like,
I love
whatever.
that. I love that you have that.
Yeah.
I mean, he switched between tight end and fullback Kind of a lot, actually. It took a while for him to get, what was it, 40?
He's not part of the organization, right? He doesn't have some like.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
No, I think he just went back to North Dakota or
He's
something.
in North Dakota not spending money and just living the good life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's got like.
He's probably got 5 oil wells.
Yeah, he's probably got like an expansive property and like
hunts or something.
Yeah, right. And like all the furniture he built himself.
Yes, that sounds about.
Yeah, I could see him being very Ron Swanson. He probably whittled a canoe.
He played with.
No, he didn't. He didn't lathe it. He whittled it.
He whittled it.
Brian Robson had a
pocket knife. Just.
It's a Gerber.
I'm done with it.
I'm still pissed that last game Kleinsoster. They were in the red zone a couple times. Just plow him forward. Let him get a touchdown, man. Come on.
Do you remember what was the Drew Barrymore 51st Dates? Remember it was he was prominent in that. Yeah.
Wait, Jim Kleinsoster?
Because it was Culpepper to Kleinsoster, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. And that's the game they would always play.
Yeah.
That was his only catch that year.
I mean, did it all over.
He was instrumental in the UND versus NDS Nickel Trophy matchup. So.
Is he? Did he build it?
Arif, can you please do a story on this, like for the site? Like, remember this. Remember this.
This is the final Nickel Trophy they ever awarded, which means UND will always be ahead in football.
Yeah.
Favorite wide receiver of all time. I'm really close on this, but
just go chalk, man. I'm going Randy. Randy.
Yeah,
Chris Carter.
I'm going Randy, although Chris Carter's really close for me.
Chris Carter's
because I love CC.
I mean, I love CC. I just the difference in how much of a favorite they are.
Yeah.
It's just enormous, and CC's up there.
I mean, he had back-to-back 122 catch seasons.
With some of the stories about CC
Warren
are
frickin'
great.
Moon.
I think I've told the story on this podcast before, but I have to tell it again. It's one of my favorite stories. I was on a plane with somebody who roomed with the former Chicago Bears, so it's like a fourth-hand story, but I believe it. This guy was a defensive back for the Chicago Bears. I think he was a backup that was forced to play against Chris Carter, and Carter's like feasting, right? I think Ocho Cinco did this too, but he would tell the guy what route he was going to run.
Yep.
And then tell him how to stop it. He's like, well, you need to do this. You need to do like, this is right as they line up. I'm gonna run a slant. In order for you to stop it, you need to get inside leverage. You need to jam me right away. That kind of stuff, right? And then you get the catch and you go back and say, see, I told you. Now here's what you did wrong. Just brutal. He coached the other team. Like, oh, that's brutal.
That's a power move.
I love it.
Whereas Randy Moss is like, all right, I'm gonna run there. Best of luck to you in your future endeavor, sir.
Take the top off the defense.
Yeah. God,
I'm going that way.
Who, since Randy Moss, has been the best, just straight up deep threat?
I almost want to not include Calvin in the conversation.
I was going to throw his...
But he just never got the touchdown credence to get it. Julio, maybe he also doesn't have the touchdown credence for it.
Yeah.
Calvin and Julio kind of similar in that respect.
Is it AJ Green?
Maybe it's kind of fallen off for the past couple of years, but I don't know. I just feel like now that we've brought Randy up, now we're all comparing their deep threat capabilities to Randy. And Calvin was the best receiver in the game for a while, and I'm just like, it just wasn't good enough. It's difficult, but
it's all right. You can just say Josh Doxson.
Yeah, I mean,
his quarterback who made him.
Mike Wallace, Torrey Smith.
I saw a Mike Wallace Steelers jersey today in the grocery store parking lot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And also, that thing was new.
Weird.
Yeah,
that is weird.
Either that, or he really takes good care of his jerseys.
I prefer that one.
Can you imagine the guy's like, I just forgot I had this.
Wait, so peak Mike Wallace versus peak Deshaun Jackson. You take Deshaun Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Is he in the conversation for one of the better deep threats, or do we just have to go Calvin?
Deshaun Jackson, you have to remember 5 times he dropped the ball.
That was so funny.
It was really funny.
And he did it in college, too. He never learned.
Yeah. And it's the Eagles who are the most ridiculous fans. Yeah.
No, I throw D-Jax up there. Also, you almost have to handicap for his size.
Yeah.
Add a couple of points to it.
And Larry was up there before he became a possession guy again.
Yeah. Also, Steve Smith. Where he didn't have the size or necessarily the speed.
Here. Yeah. All right, who you got at tight end?
Chase Ford.
Right, yeah. It was going to be a weird answer for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You?
Well, if I can't pick Kleinsasser, maybe Vasanti?
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's a good call.
Yeah. If I was a little older, I might have picked like Steve Jordan, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't remember tight ends from my youth very well, other than Kleinsasser, if you want to count Kleinsasser. But
what about Dugan?
God,
Pride of Maryland.
I
You
like
Terp.
Rudolph, but that's I'm a minority opinion here, so I'm going to stick with it.
Why?
Well, I mean, you're a Notre Dame guy.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
John Carlson was.
Yeah,
in
don't worry
that,
about it.
Yeah.
Offensive
Tyler
tackle. Favorite Vikings offensive tackle of all time.
Well, as soon as someone breaks up Corey Stringer,
Yeah.
we're all going to feel like assholes for not picking Corey Stringer.
I think that's emeritus. So
Yeah.
we'll leave that out. I picked Lode Holt. It's
I like Lode Holt a lot.
super generational thing, but like when he was on, he was a freaking road grader at that right tackle spot, man.
What about
Was Brian McKinney a tackle?
Yes,
I'm going
yes.
Brian McKinney.
I was about to say, what about Brian McKinney? If we're talking about people who, when they were on, I mean, McKinney was really good when he was trying.
You want to party with him? That's
that too.
honest.
And both the Williams sisters, right? Like I think he.
Wow.
Yeah.
On his leased boat.
I thought you were calling the Williams players for the Vikings the Williams sisters real briefly. I was like, whoo!
We're not even on the defensive side of the ball.
I thought you were jumping the shark hole.
No, it's just, McKinney's exploits are legendary. Yeah, I guess I can't, because I never really liked Matt Khalil all that much.
Yep.
And then he just became an asshole as time went on.
Y'all are forgetting Ron Yeri and Gary Zimmerman.
I was actually thinking about Ron Yeri, but that's boring. I don't know that much
we
about
never
them.
saw them play.
Yeah.
So
that's not going to prevent me from picking Page on defensive tackle. But yeah.
No, but yeah, for sure. Like game film from back then is still relatively rare, and also you're just going off of legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah. OG, give me some random McDaniel. Come on, baby.
Hutch, man.
Yeah, Hutch was my choice.
I mean, McDaniel was awesome, and I think he's a better player than Hutch, but I just like Hutch.
Hutch is phenomenal.
Plus, his Twitter handle is @PoisonPill76.
That's the way to
How
go.
can you not respect that?
Also, the man who just eats steak for dessert. No big deal. What is up? Center, give me some Matt Burke.
I can't with
it's
Matt
hard.
Burke.
Yeah, it's hard to go.
Because of his stances.
Yeah, because of his stances.
But he has a burger at. I'm trying to remember which St. Paul place it is. Shamrocks?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool that a guy at that position
That is pretty cool.
gets recognized.
I'm going to pick Sully.
Sully? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sully's good.
Because you're both intellectuals.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk about Battlestar Galactica all the time.
Yeah.
Him and I. No, I just felt like he was underrated. And then by the time, and then when people finally got around to how good he got injured 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And it's like he never got his time in the sun as one of the top 5 centers in the league that people recognized him as that, which kind of sucks. And then he played, kind of all right for Washington, and then he was a big part of why Jared Goff, got the protection that he got with the Rams.
And he's going to pave the way this year for running back by committee, including Todd Gurley. According to Adrian. It's two-back league.
It's a two-back league. I can pair with Todd Gurley.
Yeah. All right, moving over.
Catch, all right.
Moving over.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or no, it'll be like the program where the star running back becomes the fullback for Omar Epps coming in. Just complete selflessness.
You know what? Adrian Peterson just needs like a 4-hour radio show where it's just thoughts. It's not analysis. It's just things he thinks he could do.
No, we need that. He absolutely does not. That's the last thing he needs.
Fair.
Yeah, see, I like the school in the program. Like, was it East State or whatever it was? They're like playing Iowa and Boston College and Texas. Like, who has the schedule? What is happening here? Are they independent? Is this Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's
back
like
in
a
the day?
Notre Dame.
Yeah, baby.
A school named East State is, independent. Like BYU.
There's one everywhere.
All right, switch over to the defensive side. Give me your favorite defensive end Viking of all time.
Favorite might just be Jared Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
was
beat that
John
personality.
Randall end or was he?
He's a tackle.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared Allen's just an amazing
Jared Allen's
personality.
tough to argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared is close for me. I win Everson. I freaking love Everson.
He was the perfect follow up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like they filled the
Yeah,
personality gap.
And
with
we
Everson.
know where they hang out. Do you know this? I think Everson went off on a big thing about how they hang out in Phoenix and go. I'm like, great. Don't
That's
stop.
awesome. That's
live together.
That's perfect.
Just since they're both talkers, just like the straight up BS back and forth. Like honestly, they should have a radio
It's
show.
got to be amazing.
Yeah.
Or they should do like a weekly podcast. Wabi is the moderator.
Yeah.
That'd be awkward.
Yeah.
I would listen to it every week.
Who'd win in a fight, Greg Hardy or Peak Ray Edwards?
Oh, wow. Why isn't this a video game? Like, someone could create this.
I mean, Greg Hardy apparently has a winning record in boxing matches
does.
against real boxers.
No, like MMA fights. He signed with UFC now.
Yeah. So I would
But
probably go.
he's been fighting tomato cans as well.
Oh, has he also
Yeah.
been fighting? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably Greg Hardy. I don't know. The answer is always Herschel Walker.
I want Greg Hardy to get effed up.
in the way,
Yeah, obviously. I don't know anybody who's cheering for him.
Yeah.
given that people can like create video games pretty easily now, couldn't you pitch this to the players? It's like anyone who's allowed. You get to like.
They would not create a fighting video game. No.
It'd be so fun.
Absolutely not. I can't imagine any agent would be like, this is a great idea when you get rung up on domestic violence charges 3 years from now.
No. You can do it guys out of, I suppose. But, yeah, forget my idea.
No, it's okay. Hertz is like, let's have O.J. Simpson be our spokesperson. What about it? Yeah. All right. An isotoner.
OJ's like his fatality is him at the end being like, I didn't do it. Didn't do it.
Fatality. Wasn't me.
Favorite Vikings linebacker of all time?
I like how you skipped defensive tackle.
Oh, sorry, D tackle.
Alan Page.
John Randall.
Alan Page is so good, but John Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See why they outline? You can't do eye black like he did, right?
I think he's a contributing reason.
Yeah.
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 You remember John Ball?
Jerry Ball.
Jerry Ball.
Yeah.
Jerry Ball. Yeah, Jerry Ball is great.
The guy whose last name is also a apt description.
Yes.
Yeah. Linebacker. Favorite Vikings linebacker of all time.
Chad, right?
Chad. I'm gonna go E.J. Anderson.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Not Aaron?
Nah. Like EJ's peak. Also, he coming back from the smash femur, which still makes me kind of queasy to watch that play.
Yeah.
Also, is still with the organization, great in the community. Like that guy.
Yeah, well, EJ, the year that he came back, he played out of his mind, too. He was playing really well.
Make a Pro Bowl that year?
I know, but he should have.
Yeah.
He didn't, I don't think.
Yeah. All right. On to cornerback. I think this was pretty easy.
Antoine Winfield.
Yeah, I got Antoine. Maybe Twan.
Terrence Newman gets a vote in my book.
Really?
I just like that he can play at 40, but
I
I kind of like his personality.
But if the Vikings had never cut him, Antoine could have played till he's 40.
Anton Winfield is a really good pick.
Well, they spent camp with the Seahawks, and then they're like, nah.
They should have.
Yeah.
They should have said, but, they had a young nickel corner that they liked. Walter Thurmond, I think.
Winfield's a great choice. Who else? I don't even remember cornerbacks from the 98.
Asher
Jimmy
Allen?
Hitchcock.
Ooh.
Corey Fuller. Corey Fuller's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings never had great all-time great corners. I don't think any of them are in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
No.
or even like regular Pro Bowlers.
I always think of the guys up front. Yeah.
Yeah. Had some pretty good luck with safeties, but favorite Viking safety of all time.
I have to go with Harry.
So
Yeah.
Jamarcus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
What about Darren Sharper? Wow, yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Now we have to consider only on the field, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm going with Harry.
Yeah. Favorite Vikings kicker of all time, which is tough. Jan Stenerud.
I'm going to go with Gary.
Yeah, Gary Anderson.
Yeah. I'm going to go Fuad Reves.
Is he the points leader? No, that's Cox.
Ho, ho, ho. I just love, because he was the kicker on not the 98 teams, but after Gary Anderson left, filled that void.
Okay.
Also worth 7.
Longwell
which bugged me.
was fine.
Longwell's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, his golf game was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad.
Favorite Vikings punter of all time.
Cluey, obviously.
Cluey, yeah.
I'm gonna go Mitch Snickersburger.
Yes, that would be my other choice. Yeah.
What?
No, that was his thing. Every
The
time he would
Snickers bar
punt,
in it, yeah.
he had a Snickers bar in his punting shoe.
Yeah. It's like what got me into Snickers, I think,
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
That's what it took. Not the sweet peanutty
I was kind of.
nougat.
I still like Reese's, but I feel like
Hashtag
that
sponsored.
tilted. Yeah.
No, that was his thing. Like he'd boom a punt, number 17, go to the sidelines, take his shoe off, and then just like eat a little piece of Snickers like a squirrel or like that raccoon.
That was too real.
That's where he got his kicking power.
Frighteningly accurate.
Yeah, that was too real.
Also Greg Coleman. Throw him in there. What is up? Last two. Favorite Vikings long snapper of all time?
Colin Leffler, obviously.
Jared Allen.
Oh, dang. I screwed
Flag.
that up. I screwed that up. Oh.
Snipe.
And lastly, specialist. Favorite Viking specialist of all time.
Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus Sherrills is tough to argue with.
Almost have to go chalk, but after this year, maybe Terrence Newman. Punt gunner Terrence.
Punt gunner Terrence.
We'll see. All right, so that's hour one in the books. Rolling on to hour two. We got open phone lines. We got some tour questions as well. And we're doing the sports movie thing. Yeah.
I have no answers for most of these.
You don't have a favorite
Really?
auto racing movie?
I don't.
No.
I do, and you may agree with me.
It's a Ricky
It's
Bobby.
not Talladega Nights.
God damn it.
Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. It's
Like
covered-
you're like a reef. Did you know that this was a racing movie?
It's a Ricky Bobby. We disagree. We call them really thin pancakes. But for Reef and Tom, I'm Eddie. Saying, bye. Listen to hour two.